Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And today I'm going to show you how you can make your own organic powdered sugar. And the great thing about this is you can use either your organic cane sugar or you can use your organic coconut sugar, whichever you want, or even do a blend if you would prefer. And I am sure, though I haven't tried it with any other types of natural sugars, I'm sure if your sugar has any kind of crystal type form to it, then you could do the same thing with that. So if you've got recipes where you're needing powdered sugar and you're wanting something that's a little more natural and organic, and you just want to even be creative and come up with your own blends, then knowing these simple tricks means you can be creative and do whatever you want. Now, I've used coconut sugar to make powdered sugar before, and today I'm going to do a blend of the coconut sugar and the cane sugar, but you can use just the coconut sugar alone. That way you can be making one that's just a little bit more healthy than what you can get at the store. And the other thing is the powdered sugars, the organic powdered sugars you buy from the store are usually way more expensive than just buying the organic sugar and then coming home and making it yourself. Now it's really, really easy. Now right here you can see I have a whole jar, almost a whole quart jar of regular powdered sugar. This is using the blonde colored organic evaporated cane sugar, and so just that, and then one ingredient is all you need, and that ingredient is going to be either you've got 3 different things you can use, or at least 3. Anything that's going to be very starchy, like I always avoid cornstarch because it's hard to find it organic, but like you can use tapioca starch, which is, I use 2 different ones and I use them equally. I'm pretty sure what I have in here is arrowroot powder. And then also if you live in a place where you can get the kudzu powder real easy, that will work. You know that feeling that cornstarch has, as long as it has that feeling, you know it's going to be right. Rub it between your fingers. Arrowroot powder and tapioca starch are just like that, and they're perfect for this. So as long as you got whatever sugar you're going to use and your powder, your starch, whichever type it is, that's going to work good for you. I'm going to be using the arrowroot powder today. So, and then you'll need your blender, and that's it. So anyway, doing a combination, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do half cup of the organic cane sugar, and then I'm going to add to that a half cup of the coconut sugar. Okay? And pour that in my blender. Now to that, this is where the other ingredient comes in, and the purpose for the starch is to keep it light and to also keep it from clumping. So what you're going to need for every cup that you make is to add 1 tablespoon of your starch to your blender. Now if you prefer, you can stir that around a little bit to make sure it all gets worked down in there before you turn on your blender. I'm sure it's all going to be dependent on the type of blender you have. I find the Oster works just fine for me, and I've been using it for many years. It's lasted the longest out of any blender, even the more expensive ones I've ever bought, without having to pay my firstborn child to buy it. Okay, I thought I'd bring it over here so you can see how it looks in the blender. You can see the coconut sugar, the blonde cane sugar, and then the tapioca starch, or the arrowroot powder, that is, right on top. And so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go straight to high on this. Okay, and if it looks like it's not going to all go down in there, oops, don't take the lid off, then I just lift it, shake it, and then run it again. Okay, you can see what it looks like so far. It's still not fully blended, so you just want to check it every so often. What I like to do is take a chopstick and stir things around in there. Shaking it like I did earlier works really good too, but I like to do this just to make sure nothing's clumping at the bottom. I do that a lot when I'm making the laundry powder. Now, one thing you're going to want to do with this to check, because here's the one thing I forgot about the coconut sugar, is that it does take longer for it to really powder up. It doesn't powder up quite as well as the cane sugar. So just stick your fingers in there and kind of feel and see how grainy it feels. This feels like it could be blended up even more. So I'm going to go ahead and run this for a while, and when it's done, I'll show you what I do next. Okay, so you can see the cloud coming out of there. So it's pretty well powdered up. I'm going to go ahead and stir it around with my chopstick to make sure I loosen anything up. And then simply get your canning funnel and pour it into whatever jar you're going to keep it in. So I only did 1 cup, and you really don't want to do more than 1 cup at a time. In fact, it's even easier if you do only a ½ cup of this at a time. That will make it blend up a lot quicker. Alright, then the next thing you want to do to store it is to put a tight fitting lid on it. Now you can use your regular canning lid like this, which is what I'm going to use, and then your typical metal band. However, what I recommend to make it even easier is to take your plastic lids like this that you can usually find them at your local grocery store, or if your grocery store carries canning supplies, or hardware store, and then just slip a regular canning lid inside there. That will make it fit tightly. This works also for the peanut butter jar lids that fit on any regular mouth jar. You can do the same thing with those, and that way it's really great too for anything that you have with liquid ingredients and you don't want it to spill. You can buy the liners, the silicone liners to go inside that, or you can simply reuse the metal lids you already have and then just put that on there, and now you have a good tight fitting lid. The oxygen's not going to be able to get in there, moisture, and have any issues. And so there you go. And then one more thing I wanted to say is, though I recommend trying it with all coconut sugar, one of the reasons I don't like going all coconut sugar is because then it has a much darker color. So this I would use in my adding to my whipped cream, especially the whipped cream that maybe I'm already going to add something like a chocolate extract or the coffee extract that I made, and I'll go ahead and link to my whipped cream video right up here, and where I talk about that and the different extracts you can use and how to make it, and using your own homemade powdered sugar in it. This makes it so it's not quite so dark. It's not going to change the color quite so much. But if you need something where you need to keep it pure white, then go ahead and go with your regular organic cane sugar and make your powdered sugar like this. Because you can see, even though the cane sugar that I use is blonde, it still makes a pretty white looking powdered sugar when it's all done. And same thing with this. I'm surprised at how light, even going half and half with this still turns out lighter than I expected. So does just using the plain coconut sugar. It will be darker than this for sure, but it will turn out a little lighter than you think. It's going to be lighter than this sugar is before you start. And of course, adding the addition of your starch, whatever one it is you use, is going to lighten it up anyway. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something new. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.